Shalom. This is Yaquab Banyasha Allah of the GMS Jacksonville Lions Den Camp. First off, I'd like to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone, and all salutations to the sincere Akim preaching this doctrine and truth, and sincerity and truth all throughout the four corners of the earth. All right, this is going to be a short lesson on Second Edras, the 13th chapter. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and start it off. Uh, all right. All right. This is Second Esdras, the 13th chapter, the first verse. It says, "And it came to pass after 7 days, I dreamed a dream by night, and lo, there arose a wind from the sea, that it moved all the waves thereof. And I beheld, and lo, that man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven." And right there, that thousands of heaven, right there, that's talking about the chariots, man, and the angels. All right. This is Ezra's, man. He's seen a vision, and this vision is being broken down in this 13th chapter about what he saw. Okay, and what was revealed to him was the returning of Yahweh Shai. All right, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. All right, and when he's seen him, he's seen with him. All right. Angels, man, thousands of angels, man. All right, chariots. And when he turned his countenance to look, all the things trembled that were seen under him. Verse 4. And whensoever the voice went out of his mouth, all they burnt that had heard his voice, like as the earth faileth when it filleth the fire. And after this I beheld, and lo, there was gathered together a multitude of men out of number from the four winds of the heaven to subdue the man that came out of the sea. All right, and we all know that according to prophecy, okay, the third world war, okay, that's being pushed right now. You look around and see all the tension that's going around the world, man. That's pushing towards this new war, World War III, okay, which is one of the last prophecies, okay, in the Book of Revelations before the returning of the Messiah, okay. So basically, when Ezra seen Yahushua, okay, uh, he saw. It says, verse 5. There was gathered together a multitude of men out of number. So there was a large multitude of men that could not even be counted. All right. From the four winds of the heaven. And what that's talking about is all of these armies, man. Okay, all of these armies that's being gathered together right now, okay, over there in the Middle East. All right. Where the Most High is gathering together through the hand of the angels, gathering together all of these armies, man, for Yahweh Shaphat, which is Yahweh's judgment, okay, over in the Kidron Valley. All right. Verse 6. But I beheld, and lo, he had graved himself a great mountain and flew up upon it. All right, and that great mountain, of course, we know is a chariot, man. It was a chariot that he went up and flew up on top of, man. He ascended up on top of a chariot. All right. Verse 7. But I would have seen the region or place whereout the hill was graven, and I could not. So Ezra seen this big object that Yahushua flew up on top of, but he was not sure of what it was. All right. He thought it was a mountain. So he was looking around the area to see if there was a mountain that had been removed or misplaced or not in its place. And he seen none. Okay. There was no mountains removed. All right. Verse 8. And after this I beheld, and lo, all they which gathered together to subdue him were sore afraid, and yet durst fight. All right. Because when all these armies, man, they see Yahweh Shai coming back as well, right? All right. it freaked them out when they seen him to fly up on top of this big chariot, right? It was something that they're not used to seeing with their eyes. All right, verse 9. And lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, all right, because remember, they were in the midst of World War III. So all of these multitudes, okay, with different armies of different nations across the earth that were fighting each other, that had been gathered together for Yahweh's judgment. All right, verse 9. And lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, he neither lift up his hand, nor held sword, nor any instrument of war. But only I saw that he sent out of his mouth as it had been a blast of fire. All right. And out of his mouth, that's not literally talking about out of his mouth, out of his lips. Okay. What that's talking about, that's symbolic for the mouth, meaning the front end of the chariot. Okay. The front of that big mountain that he flew up on top of. Okay. As it had been a blast of fire, and out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempests. Okay. So right here, man, Edras is giving the best description of what he saw at that time. Okay. With the language that, he had at that time. All right. So he saw a blast of fire. All right. And out of his lips, a flaming breath, and out of his tongue, he cast out sparks and tempests. So all together, man, you picture all of that together, man, that makes a laser, man. All right. Sort of like what was seen on the movie Independence Day with Will Smith. Okay. When they had basically the whole Star Wars theme, man. Well, basically they had, a so-called alien spacecraft, okay, going to war with the United States aircraft, okay. And you saw something that resembled like a laser, man, shooting out of the front end of the chariot. And this is what it's referring to, okay. Verse 11. And they were all mixed together. Okay, so he was saying right there that the blast of fire, all right, and the flaming breath from his lips, all right, and the sparks and tempests was all mixed together, and that makes a laser. The blast of fire, the flaming breath, and the great tempest, and fell with violence upon the multitude. So basically, Yahushua, man, he didn't even lift a finger, man, when these armies, man, rushed him, man, or basically came to him to fight him. All right. When he returned, they were in the midst of World War III, and they all stopped from battling each other and tried to turn to fight him. Okay, and it said he didn't lift up any instrument of war, man. He didn't lift up any sword, anything to fight these people, man. He just simply shot a laser at them and burnt their ass up. All right, so this is the power of our Lord, man, of our Messiah, man, Yahushua, and he's not coming back to make a peace treaty with the world. He's not coming back to hold no damn hands, okay? And he's not coming back to welcome any homosexuals, okay? All right, he's coming back to bring destruction, all right? He's coming back to destroy, man, all right? And fell with violence upon the multitude, which was prepared to fight, and burnt them up, every one, so that upon a sudden, of an innumerable multitude, nothing was to be perceived, but only dust and smell of smoke. So basically, man, after that big blast or that laser that shot from out of the front of the chariot, zapped this multitude or these armies, there was nothing left of them, man. All right, it instantly burnt them. It zapped them to dust, man. All right, the only thing that was left, man, was dust and smoke. All right, it's like the scriptures say. From the ground thou art, and from the ground thou shalt return. All right, which is dust, man. The Most High made us out of dirt and dust, man, from the ground. All right, and this flesh, man, this flesh turns back to dust, and that's a prime example of it right there, man. When that heat, when that fire, when that laser zapped their ass, man, it turned them right back to dust, man. All right, and they went right back to the ground, man. It says, when I saw this, I was afraid. Verse 12. Afterward saw I the same man come down from the mountain, and call unto him in other peaceable multitude. So basically, after the zapping, after the Yahushua slaughtered all those armies, he basically descended from the chariot. All right, he came down from the top of the chariot. All right, and called unto him another peaceable multitude. All right, verse 13. And there came much people unto him, whereof some were glad, some were sorry, some of them were bound, and other some brought of them that were offered. Then was I sick through great fear, and I awakened and said, Thou hast showed thy servant wonders from the beginning, and hast counted me worthy that thou shouldest receive my prayer. Show me now yet the interpretation of this dream. For as I conceive in mine understanding, woe unto them that be left in those days, and much more woe unto them that are not left behind. For they that were not left were in heaviness. Now understand I the things that are laid up in the latter days, which shall happen unto them and to those that are left behind. Therefore are they come into great perils and many necessities, like as these dreams declare. Yet is it easier for him that is in danger to come into these things than to pass away as a cloud out of the world, and not to see the things that happen in the last days. All right. So right there it says, yet it is easier for him that is in danger to come into these things than to pass away as a cloud out of the world, and not to see the things that will happen in the last days. Because basically the people that are going to be left behind, man, all right, to be able to see the salvation of Yahushua, to be able to see Yahushua return and do those mighty things, okay, to see that great presence of the Messiah, man, to return after all this time, man. That's a wonderful thing, man. All right, it's gonna be a wonderful thing to see with your own eyes the destruction of this sinful kingdom, man. All right, and so basically, man, the people that are gonna be left behind are more blessed, man, because they get to see that with those eyes, with their own eyes. Even a lot of the prophets, man, that were here back in the old times, man, in the Old Testament, man, they wish to be here during this time, man, to see Yahushua return. All right. Verse 21. The interpretation of the vision shall I show thee, and I will open unto thee the thing that thou hast required. Whereas thou hast spoken of them that are left behind, this is the interpretation. He that shall endure the peril in that time hath kept himself. They that be fallen into danger are such as have works and faith towards the Almighty. All right. Because basically, man, the people that fall into danger are going to be the ones that's left behind in those last days, man. All right. They're going to, Jacob's trouble, man. The ones that's got to endure through Jacob's trouble, okay? Because a lot of people are going to be slaughtered, man. All right. During the time of Jacob's trouble, a lot of people are going to be hauled off to concentration camps. You got a lot of wicked niggas that's going to convert over and take that damn mark of the beast, man, the RFID microchip, man. All right. And they're going to be destroyed, man. All right. The Most High is going to burn their ass up. All right. You're gonna have famines, man. You're gonna have and the grocery stores only carry 3 days worth of supplies of food, man. All right. So when those famines break out, man, even when the slightest shortage of food starts to happen, you're gonna have a lot of jakes, man, bomb rushing those stores trying to hurry up and buy food, man. So on average, a grocery store has a 3 days supply worth of food. How long do you think that is going to last when everyone is bomb rushing that store at the same time, man, trying to rack up on food because of the shortage of food, man? So, it's going to be some real tough and hard times, man. You're going to have a lot of women, wicked ass women, man, all right, that's going to pay for their wickedness in this time and that time, all right? A lot of women going to be ravished, man. They're going to be raped out here in these streets, man, all right? Especially if they don't have a man of the Lord to protect them, all right? This is verse 24. Know this, therefore, that they which be left behind are more blessed than they that be dead. See there? And the reason that is, which it may not sound right, but the reason that they're more blessed is because, like I said, they get to witness the salvation of Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushua with their own two eyes, man. And there's nothing that could be greater than that, man. All right. Because the people that get to see that with their own eyes, man, all right, the people that get saved, man, all right, the elect They get saved on this side, man.